live.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Tuesday night Better Late Than Never Legends of Thea adventure stream. My name is Frank Bedeni. Online I'm known as Frankie Swa, and I'll be your storyteller, dungeon master. Whatever you want to call me, I can take it. Sticks and stones. You know, I was brought up back when you call people names just for the fun of it, and everybody laughed. And anyways, we'll move forward. We're gonna have a good time tonight doing some homebrew Dungeons and Dragons stuff. The world and the universe that this is in was a thing that I started up when I was in junior high. I saw this blue box set on a cafeteria bench outside, and my friends were playing, and I said, "What are you doing?" And the rest, never looked back. I just kept playing and playing and playing and playing and playing, and now we're all together here online and having a great time. This is session what? Live wise in front of others, live. What, this is like the 18th show or
This is
something
18th.
like that. 18th, yeah. And we had 3 or 4 before that were more just trying things out and stuff, and then we weren't ready for prime time. But yeah, so really cool stuff. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Dejaza, for hanging out. And sorry we started a little bit late, but Little Grin was trying to get his Speedos on, and it just wasn't working very easily. So we didn't want to surprise everybody. We won with that. So now we're ready to rock and roll, and we're going to have a fun session tonight. I hope fun.
It takes a few Speedos. You got to stitch them together to get them around Little Grin.
Right. So to introduce everyone real quickly, I don't know how you're set up on the screen because I'm not looking at Twitch right now, but the young lady in the group, we have Ginny playing. She's from Austin, Texas, and she'll be playing Lila Guman, who is a gnome barbarian who loves to drink and has not been around drinking too much lately, and she's starting to get a little shaky on that one. We got Scott from Oklahoma. He's playing the half gold dragon Mihan Mistam, and that character is pretty much the face of the group. He is a paladin of Bahamut who took the oath of conquest, I believe, correct? And last but not least, that Little Grin Churl, played by David. Little Grin Churl is a half hill giant farmer who's moonlighting as a monk so he can get his time in learning how to do and getting a chance to do a bunch of farming in the dwarven settlement of Kirdarul. Now, we're a bit of ways from Kirdarul. Kirdarul is a dwarven settlement that was created underground during a big war on the surface of the planet of Thea. Everybody's went underground for the most part. Nobody's been up top for at least 6 to 8 months, if not more. Most have went underground before that. But it's said that the whole surface of this planet of Thea has been destroyed. It is nothing but crispy destruction from a huge war that occurred that went on for over 3.5 years. Everybody believes the war must be ended because there couldn't be anything left after the annihilation that occurred, and so everybody's learning how to live underground. And I'm sure at some point some people stick their heads up over into the surface, but we are not ready for that yet. The group has been traveling to an area that Meehan's been looking forward to going to called Rainbow Falls. When they got to the area that seems to be that place, there wasn't much of a mini falls. There wasn't much of a rainbow going on. It was quite dead, as everything else pretty much has been in the areas that they've been traveling to. There was a couple areas where the foliage, the fungus, the vines and the trees, and there are some underground trees here and vines and such, and those things are all those were all colorful, and only about 1 or 2 areas you've been in. Most of your travel, you've seen what looks to be things that are barely hanging on to life and close to being dead. When it comes to like I said, the mushrooms and things like that. You've finally gotten to this place, and you met a nature spirit, a very old, look basically like a half human, half tree, with a lot of vines and branches sticking out of it and into it. And as you are all here, you're traveling looking for Cell. Cell is a member of your group from early on in your travels and adventures who disappeared. She's disappeared around the same time that a Grand Magus was killed or was found dead at Kishkumen. Um, so, being that she's gone, you went to talk to her because you found her pin in Kishkumen's Wizard's Tower underground. And when you went to Sel's place, where she lives, she wasn't there, but you did find a map that had some things scribbled on it that you couldn't understand. One of those places was the Wizard's Tower. The other place that had some scribbling writing was the area known as Rainbow Falls. You got the okay from the dwarves to travel down this road that has not been traveled for quite some time. The road to uh, Rainbow Falls has been shut off because the way there was found to be haunted, as the dwarves had built a Hall of the Dead to remember the dwarves by who have passed on. And for some reason, years ago, the dead started coming back to life. And so the dwarves said, well, we don't have time for this. War is going on. So we're just going to lock the halls of the dead up. We're going to put big magics up and things like that. And we are going to protect our stronghold and our city down here, the settlement of Kirda Rule, by just closing up the halls of the dead. So that whole area has been shut off. So you were given the okay. And I believe, how many days, do you remember how many days Bertha said she was going to give you to come back?
She didn't give us a time limit.
Okay, no, there wasn't a time limit, but she did say something in effect of, I'll come back and be looking for you around this time. So I just wondered if you remember that. Okay, cool. Does anybody remember that? No? Okay. So does anybody have down how long you've been traveling and how long you've been, how long the travel took for you to get to Rainbow Falls? Does anybody remember that?
She was gonna check on us in 11 and a quarter days, and
Right.
we've definitely been traveling for 2 pi days.
Right. So yeah, what I have down here, because it took quite a few sessions to get here, because of your stops and stuff. But yeah, the traveling has been. You're on your fourth day. You were on your fourth day of travel when you got to the close. Fourth day of travel. And she did say that she would meet up with you she would be watching around 10 to 11 days because she figured it'd take you a certain amount of time to get there. So that is correct. Excellent.
I was just bullshitting. I didn't remember that at all.
I knew you didn't on the two. There's no way it's only 2 days, but yeah, it's been between 4 and 5 days. So you met with the nature spirit, and you told them that you were looking for Sel. Now Sel had been here, and the nature spirit knew who you were speaking of, and said that it would help if you had an item of hers that it could study, and you had left the pin with Madra, who is basically a collector in the settlement of Kirda Rule. But you did have the map, correct? In fact, I believe it was Lila who said, what about the map? And you gave it to the forest spirit or the nature spirit, and this nature spirit looked at the map and then said, come here to Mihan. Mihan reluctantly went up to the creature, and the creature touched him. And when the creature touched Mihan saw Sel, and Sel was not doing well. Sel was in quite a bit of duress. And when the visage left Mihan's mind, the nature spirit told Mihan that it believed that if haste wasn't made in finding Sel, that Sel may, in fact, leave this planet or leave this existence because of what she's going through. And with that, Mihan was like, we got to get going. Which direction do you think you felt her presence in? And basically, there's literally a point this way. Mihan started walking. The others started to follow, and the nature spirit said, wait, I will help if you do me a favor, if you will. When you find Sel, if you find Sel, bring her back here. And Mian asked why. And the nature spirit said, because she is one with myself and the others of this place. And Mian, under his breath, made a comment about a pixie artificer and kind of laughed and said, well, we're going to find Sel, and if I find her, she's going to have to be taken back to Kirda Rule first, but I will bring her back after that if she's not hanging from the gallows for murdering Kishkumen. Does everybody remember that? Excellent. So the next thing that happened was you all needed to make a decision. The decision was, are you going to head back to Kier to Rule and then look for Cell? Are you going to leave from here to look for Cell? What's going to be the choice? And the choice was leave from this nature node. Again, the nature spirit, if you will, offered its help, and it created a portal, if you will, and said that this will lead you towards her in the direction. How far away, it does not know. It could be close. It could be a very long way away. It's completely a guess, and that's why I rolled the dice after after that was created to see how lucky Mr. Forest Spirit was, or Nature Spirit was, to getting you over to that area. So you all jumped into the portal, I believe. In fact, Lila and Little Grin, did you go in first or last?
Oh crap! Now I can't remember. I think I went in last.
Little Grin was last. I was walking forward, and Lila skipped the line.
Yep.
Jumped right through.
Right. Okay. So we are going to now start with the traveling by portal, via portal, towards, hopefully towards Cell. So you all enter the portal, and as I stated last week, you get that feeling that your stomach's turning a bit, as if you are taking off from an aircraft or something like that. That's DM to players. That's the kind of feeling it gives you. Lila, you went into the portal first, I believe. You jumped in, and you feel the weight of your body like gain actual weight to where it feels like you're falling a bit, and then you land, and you feel at your feet, you feel like there is like rubble, like small pieces of rock and stuff at your feet, but you land on what seems to be solid ground. Not long after you hear another, well, you hear a boosh, you hear a sound, and again the ruffling of feet, and Meehan, you land also on what seems to be solid ground. There are a lot of rubble, like rubble pieces, like little rocks on you, that you're standing on. It's not slippery, but when you step on a lot of small rocks, they move. So your feet are not like in a great, they're not really secure. They're like on these small pebbles that are kind of rolling around a little bit and keeping you just a bit off balance. Nothing like you're falling over or anything, but definitely it's not completely stable. Now suddenly, boom, Little Grin lands in the same area. And Little Grin, do you wear like sandals, or do you not wear?
I do wear sandals.
Okay, so you land, and your sandals catch some of these rocks, so that like your feet are stinging a bit from the rocks that your sandals are holding. Now there's these small rocks, very small rocks that are on the ground. Now, as far as what you see, once you land, your eyes begin to focus. And for those of you who can't see in the dark, you see barely anything. You may see a little bit of gleam off Meehan's armor. Who here has a magical weapon, I should ask? Does anyone here have a magical weapon?
Meehan does.
Meehan's
my fists are magical at a certain level.
Right. So anything of magic right now may be having a very, very, very faint glow, and that is it. Now, Lila, you can see a bit because you can see in the dark, and you see that you're all standing on what looks to be a ledge that is no more than about 6 foot across. It's no more than 1.5 foot out. So, like, literally, if any of you take a step, you're going down. And out there, it's just a big open pit. And that's what you could immediately see looking across. You just see a huge hole. You can't even see across to what's on the other side. You're just on this ledge that seems to be like a little ledge that who knows, what's below you. You can't tell right now. I'm going to since Lila landed, I'm going to allow her to make the first move. What do you want to do, Lila?
I'd like to tell my blind brethren, don't go forward, guys, because there's a big hole in front of us.
Lila warns all of you of the dangers. Meehan, you landed second with your dog. Mouse,
Just light a torch.
you light a torch. All right. I want you, my friend, to roll. I want you to roll stealth because you're on a very, very small ledge, and taking that torch out of your backpack and stuff's going to take some movement. I just want you to roll to make sure that you don't trip over
Slide
your
a
own
hand, you
skull.
mean?
That's fine. Something that has to do with your dex. Just you got to be careful here. This is really a dangerous spot.
Bum bum bum. 16.
Oh, no problem. You stand completely still, realizing that if you take a step, you may fall to your death. And you light a torch. And when you light the torch, you literally see in front of you that there is, just like Lila saw, there is this big, huge hole. You are on a ledge, and you can't see. Looking, you take the torch and you kind of move it out left and right and ahead, and all you can see is that there is cavern wall on either side of you, and there's a drop. That's all you can see, and the drop with the torch, you cannot see where that drop leads. It's huge. You can't even see across the hole that's in front of you. Little Grin, what would you like to do, if anything?
You're muted. We're professional.
He wants to
Oh,
drop
no.
out.
That's gonna fuck everything up.
Yeah, everybody's
Yep.
going to flip around now, huh?
We'll be right
All
back,
right.
guys. the back laugh.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Wow. Little Grin, just his Speedo thing is just, it's too important. It's just being tough for him tonight. We hope to see him back. But in the meantime, while we are waiting for him to catch a break, we will move forward. Meehan, you just lit a torch, and you saw for yourself what Lila saw, which is you're all standing on this very, 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 very small ledge. Little Grin is back. I'm admitting him in. Are you ready, Scott? For me to let him in? Okay. I'm letting him in now. Okay, I'm letting him in now. There we go. He should be jumping back in any moment.
Yay!
So, do either of you want to do anything as the torch is lit?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, cool. I can hear you guys, but I can't. Oh, now I can see Frank. I don't know what's going on with my computer. Sorry about that, you guys.
It's all right. It's all good. Technical difficulties happen. That's the one thing about online gaming. You got to watch out for it. Sometimes it happens, you know.
Yeah. So I lit a torch. Does the walls or the ledge seem to get wider in one direction or the other as we're looking?
No, in fact, after the 6 to 10 foot I told you about that was on either side of you, I mean, the whole thing itself is no more than 6 to 10 feet in width. And like you point your torch out both ways, and in the ledge ends. I mean, you see nowhere to walk other than where you're standing is the only place. And there's all these little pieces of rock. Like I said, it's a little slippery because of that. Every so often, your foot just kind of goes, "Oh, I don't have a stable place to stand." Little Grin, what do you want to do? You see that you are all standing on a ledge that's like right on a wall in this big old hole underground.
Okay. And what are my friends doing?
Meehan just lit a torch to verify what Lila said, which was, watch your step, don't move forward, or you're going to fall in a hole. And who knows how far it goes.
Okay. I'll start looking around for something maybe to tie off to.
Okay. Why don't you roll your perception, my friend?
I can do that. Rolling is only the best part of the game.
It is when you're drinking. Woohoo! We're drinking tonight.
I tell you, I need a few after the day I had. Here we go. 10.
Please you see nothing. You literally, I mean, let me take that back. There's a possibility to get a little creative, but you see nothing that sticks out to you like, oh yeah, that would be a perfect place to tie something off. You see nothing like that. It's literally, it's like flat. Then there'll be like a break, like in the rock, and then it'll be flat and a break in the rock. This rock is really kind of shaly. I don't know if you know what shale is like, but it's kind of, it's like it's like straight slanted breaks, but there's like stalactites, stalagmites, those kind of things that have like a, rocks, those big boulder type rocks that stick up. You can rock. You don't see nothing like that here. This is like, literally, this is like the ledge that's equal to a little desert island in the middle of a lot of water. This is like, you're lucky to have landed here, to say the least.
Okay, well, next idea would be to kick a rock off the ledge. See how long it goes.
All right. Who's doing the kicking? You gonna go ahead and do that?
Does Meehan have the torch up?
He does have a torch up. Yes.
I throw my torch.
What?
All right. So how many torches you have left?
8.
Okay. So you drop the torch, and is everybody going to look?
No, I throw it.
Okay, you're going to try to throw it out more than okay. All right, so you throw it out. You throw it out, and you can see that the darkness. This is such a wide cavern that the darkness envelops around this torch, and then the torch starts to quietly, like, head down, and you watch, and it continues down, and down, and down, and down, and down, and then it fades out in light, giving no details to where it landed and what's below you. I want everybody to roll their perception, please. Oh, who rolled that one? Oh,
9
no.
for me.
Oh.
Nobody rolled a 1. That was a 7, bro.
Yeah.
10.
Hold on now. I'm going backwards.
13.
I thought I saw a 1. Okay, somebody's lucky because that should have been a 1. Okay, so
It was a
you-
7.
right, it looked like a 1 because that's what I was hoping for 1. No,
A 7
all right,
is
so-
is a 1 with a little dash on the top.
yeah, I got you.
He's got
I
a
got you.
hat.
Yeah.
I know what a 7 is, bro. Okay, so you all feel the ledge that you're standing on, like literally start to shift down, like it drops quickly. You drop about 6 inches from where you're standing, like one of those roller coaster rides where 6 inches drop, and everybody goes, and like the ledge. You're all way too heavy for it.
So
I'm going to give everybody one action.
So we're standing on a ledge in front of a vast cavern. There's nothing behind us, there's nothing in front of us, and there's nothing to either side that we can see or above. So we're just on this ledge in darkness.
That's correct. You
I'm
look
just
behind
gonna-
you. You look behind you, and you see darkness because you don't have a torch now. What are you going to do?
Okay, I light a torch.
Okay, so now you have 7. This is where we're finally going to get all those things that have been written down for ages. We are going to be counting them.
I also
so-
breathe fire and can grab sticks.
Hey, you know what? That's
make
awesome.
torches.
Perfect. Okay, so you light another torch. You look behind you, and you see wall, like cavern wall. And what else did you want to do for your action, my friend?
I'm just standing there.
Okay, so you look behind you, you look up and down, you see nothing to assist you. Lila, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna press my back against the wall and then just mentally curse this tree guy for
jeez.
bringing us here.
Whoa, wow. Look
I
at all the
hope-
thanks he gets.
I hope all his bacon burns.
Oh, no. Little Grin, I hope you're not going to be as bad as to curse that nice, the spirit of nature that helped you get towards, help you get
No,
closer
it
to
could
the
be my
sun.
girlfriend's uncle or some shit. I'm not gonna make fun of him.
Exactly. All right. So, what are you going to do? Are you going to do anything? Or are you just going to stand there after the ground literally shifted below you?
And accept death? No, yeah, I'll grab the wall. Are you
Okay.
insane? What's
No,
wrong
I'm
with
just,
you
I'm
people?
just asking. I'm just asking.
I don't know what
Okay.
these other idiots are doing, but yeah,
It's-
I will try and grab onto something.
What these other
Okay.
idiots are doing is realize you weigh 400 pounds, and he said it was shale. It's gonna crumble beneath your finger, of the weight of your right arm, let alone your entire body.
So do you want to roll like a just like a dex to see if you can find a spot to like jump onto? Or are you just gonna
It's
put
like literally there's no crevice. I thought you said there was a bunch of crevices and stuff.
Here's what I'm asking. Are you actually going to get into a position where you're holding on to the wall or like the cavern wall, or are you just going to like grab onto something that's sticking out just in case the bottom below breaks and you're holding onto something? I want to
Yeah.
know how far you're going in this. Are you Spider-Manning it, or are you just doing a little safety there and grabbing onto something with a hand?
Oh no, I'll just Spider-Man it.
Okay. All right, so you Spider-Man it. That's what I thought. So you got to roll to grab onto a good spot.
So strength.
So, no, it'd be a dex, or you can do either one. You can do athletics or acrobatics. I don't care. You can
Ooh.
choose.
Oh, I like Dex.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh yeah. Okay, so you just kind of go, oh, this ain't good, and you hop on, and you can feel that the rock actually, just like Scott said, Meehan didn't say it, but Scott said, when you grab on, the tighter you grab on, the more these rocks start to go. They're flimsy. It's like you're all, I'm kind of heavy for this spot or something, and right as that gets into your mind and you realize this, the dog mouse goes and like makes a whiny noise and goes to jump into your arms, Meehan.
Cool.
And as soon as the dog jumps into your arms, I'm sure you grab him, and he's moving like he's nervous about something. All of you, the whole ledge, which is not that big of a ledge for all of you, it just goes, and it just breaks into a million little rocks, and you all just start falling, and you fall, and you fall, and you fall.
Well, it was
And you
really
fall.
fun playing this game with you guys.
Right?
I had a good time.
There was nothing else to do. I knew that was the end result. I knew we're dead now, and I'm gonna go to bed, or we land in something soft.
My next character's gonna be a rogue.
All right. Right. Okay, so you fall, and you fall, and you fall. And then splash. You all land in water. Now, some of you can't see shite right now. So you're in the darkness. In the darkness in water. And I would assume you were coming back up to the top because you obviously went down pretty damn deep. Some of you who are heavier, especially. Some of you wearing armor. You went down pretty deep, so you need to get yourself out of that water, or at least
False.
Up, you know.
I saved my torch like I save a beer when I fall in the pool. My torch is still lit.
Okay,
I
you know what?
I demand this to be true.
I am generous, and as you're falling, you're like, I can't lose this torch. I'm going to do everything I can to keep it. So here's what I will allow you to do. You roll percentile, because that's a hell of a miracle to have happen. To be honest, that far of a fall. I mean, you fell for like 4 seconds. That's a long fall. So I will give you a 15% chance. Roll percentile. You pick the 15%. I'll see if you keep it lit. All right.
Above 85.
All right. Cool. Oh, almost. Getting this
Oh.
close. Okay. So, but unfortunately, there's a huge splash, and it gets wet, and it goes out. You still have the torch. It's just wet, so it's going to be hard to light that. Little Grin, you land into the water as well. Lila, you land. You keep a hold of the dog pretty well, but as soon as the dog hits the water, Mouse starts swimming on his own too. Dogs know how to swim naturally, so well, at least this dog knows what it's doing. And you all start looking for some kind of ground, some type of away from the water, area. I'm gonna roll some dice really quick. One moment, please.
Well, Scott and I can't see anything,
Correct.
presuming there's zero light in this tunnel.
Yep.
So I'm really the one looking for where to go.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So
We're changing this when we get back to Cure to Roll. We're getting some dark vision goggles or something, Little Grin.
yeah.
This is bullshit.
So you
I
hear
thought
me?
it would be more fun. I thought it'd be too easy if I could see in the dark. I didn't want to do
I didn't even think
mountain
about
giant.
it when I was building my character. Didn't even think about it.
Same.
Should have played a dwarf.
Somebody
So-
told me we were going to be in
Now
the
I
Underdark
did
or
tell
whatever.
everyone. I did say, this is based in a dwarven settlement. Nobody played a dwarf. I was surprised about that. But anyways, you all hear me in from wherever you landed, which I can't say where you landed yet, but wherever you all landed in the water, as you all start to come up to the top, and get your breath, which some of you are out of breath a bit because you landed so deep, but you're catching your breath and you're swimming. Some of you dog paddling, whatever. But you do hear most of you, well, all of you can hear Mian cussing. Mian's cussing in Draconic and not happy about being wet and unable to see in the dark. Lila, you actually land when you come out of the water or come up to the top of the water. You see what looks to be a very small area where there are rocks, and there's a lot of rocks sticking up, but at least it's not in the water, and it's against the cavern wall. I will assume that you're going to head that way.
Yes, I'm gonna
Okay.
try to Marco Polo it so that they can hear me.
Okay.
Follow my voice.
Okay.
and I
So what are you
just
gonna
start
So what are you gonna tell them?
Hmm?
What are you gonna tell them?
Oh, I'm just gonna be saying random words like this way, over here, over here. Okay, keep
Perfect.
going. Up, over here, guys.
All right.
So that
So
they can continue to hear me.
as all of you are.
She told you firsthand. We're playing Marco Polo.
That's why I wanted to make sure.
She's
Because
literally
Marco Polo,
shouting Marco.
that's a trigger word in campaigns. You don't want to say that, trust me. So I was just
Marco
well,
Polo?
I start shouting Marco.
no, right, exactly. All right, so she
The
gets
Chinese
over
invented pasta.
as she's headed over that way. She's yelling to all of you, "Hey, this way! Follow my voice! I found an area where there's land, if you want to call it that."
They're like, follow me, my blind brethren.
Yep. I go over there and I light a torch.
Okay, so you all end up right here.
Oh, we got a map.
Ooh, it's rainy too.
There is water that is dripping at this level. Now, the area you were up above in before did not have this drip, but where you are now does. The rocks are flat. There are some big jagged rocks sticking up as well. Nothing here is comfortable. Wherever you want to stand or sit, you're going to have to, you're sharing your space with some ugly, jagged, wet rock. Okay. I have placed your tokens, or miniatures, if you will, in the area that you were able to pull yourself up to the quote shore in.
Can you chuck mouse on there?
I can. Thank you. I should have remembered that. That's terrible of me. Damn. All right, here we go.
It's cool.
And of course, as usual, Mouse, when he gets out of the water, goes and gets everybody wet again. So what are you going to do? You've got this new cool place to check out.
Yeah, we start walking forward.
I stand.
Okay, so you guys walk and you guys go right back in the water. Okay. So
oh, that's water.
Yes, that's water.
So Mouse goes, "Let's go swimming again. That was fun."
My bad. I thought it was just like wet ground.
No, understood. I got it. No, no. Literally, this is an area that has land, but from where you're at now, because of the way there's rocks down here and such, with your torch lit, like you can see the shimmer of the top of the surface of the water, right? And it goes out there forever. I mean, this is a huge underground lake. It's huge. I mean, you can't even see far enough down. I mean, this is huge.
Yeah, I guess. Which way do you think we should go, guys? Up or to the right?
Well, there's left and there's right.
Or you could go back in the water. I mean, it's an option, right?
Left is best.
Okay.
All right. I always buy to the left is best.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do it.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, so
Oh, left did not turn out best.
all right. So you travel down the left side of this area that's not in the water, and the rocks start getting bigger and bigger, and then they end in water.
Oh, Scott already got there.
But you did and were able to successfully find out that on this side, at least, it looks like if you want to continue any farther, and this map here does not show the whole size of the lake, okay? This is just the area that has land on it. So you can travel beyond this, but it was important for me to establish how big this waterway is. This is huge.
We got it. It's not a pond, right? It's a lake.
It's a lake, literally.
Right.
Yes. Okay,
Oh, no.
so it looks. Okay, so as you get over to this side, I want you, Meehan, you're over here. Little Grin, are you checking this out with him?
Yep.
On this end, okay. Lila, are you staying outside of the range of the torch so that you can use your dark vision, or are you keeping up with them and staying within the light of the torch?
I'm attempting to keep up with them.
Okay. All right. So when you get over to this edge, I need Meehan, since you're over there the farthest, can you please roll your perception?
Ten.
All right. Little Grin, roll
You?
your perception. Roll your perception, please.
You got it.
And Lila, you can roll as well.
Heck.
Woo! Nice roll. Nice roll again.
Oh, that was almost a 1.
Yep. So, Meehan, you don't see anything out there that grabs your attention, and you start to turn like, well, we're in a dead end. You know, I don't see anything either way. And Little Grin, Lila, you both see that out in the water, following the cavern from this side, the cavern wall, if you will, and there's still water. I mean, it's a huge lake, but the water and where the cavern wall is, out about maybe 20 feet out in the water. So obviously, to get to this, you'd have to swim or do some other great feat miracle, if you will. But there looks to be some. It looks like floating, like garbage, like refuse in the water that's up against the wall of this cavern right here, about 20 feet from this spot you're at now.
Oi, that's a big floater over there.
And Little Grin points out this right as you see it, Lila. And you can't tell what it is. It's definitely not water. It's definitely not rock. And it's not the side of the cavern. It's definitely something else.
Well, I mean, it's our only lead.
Throw a rock at it, Little Grin.
Boys can do that.
There's a
pick up
lot
a
of
rock.
rocks. There's awesome rocks here. Yeah.
I pick up an awesome one and I hook it.
Throw that 20. Roll that
How
20.
far away is it?
20 feet.
Oh, that's easy.
No, yeah, you got it. You got that, no problem. Just don't roll a 1.
Where are you, Rock? Ugh, I had this all set up. Where'd it go?
You can just roll a 20 and then add your numbers yourself. Would be fine.
Yeah, that's super annoying.
Oh, easy.
Boom.
Yeah. So you throw it and you hit it, and the rock like bounces against this whatever it is, and it looks like it kind of breaks apart and or breaks away from each other, like the conglomerate that it is. The rock causes it to kind of break a bit. You see, you definitely can tell there's some wood, and then it looks like there may be what looks to be maybe netting, or some kind of it looks almost like either fabrics or netting or something like that, and some wood that's been tangled up.
It's only 20 feet out there?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just go grab it.
Okay.
Oh, I was about to send Mouse, see if it could fetch.
I was about to go.
All right. Oh, everybody wants to go see what it is. Okay.
No,
Well, I
I
can
did
just
not.
walk,
I'm not
can't
going
I?
in that water.
How
What'd you
deep is it?
Well, you can find out.
Yeah, I step into the water.
Okay. You step in, and when you do, your foot hits the rock, and the rock again, it's either slippery or it's very, very, very sharp. Either one. So you walk out there, and about 5 steps out, it starts going deep quick.
Got it.
Like you're gonna have to swim, which is fine. I mean, you can swim, so
I swim. Which direction is it?
it's going to be east. So literally, you're going to go straight out past the map. Yes, to your right. Correct.
Well, that's more than 20 feet.
Right, but it literally, I counted it from like where, yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
the edge of the map. Yeah.
Okay,
That
I
was
do
the very,
it.
yeah. So you go out that way. I need to roll one thing real quick. Oh, okay. So you
Don't
get over
laugh.
to it, and
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Right?
Don't do that weird laugh right after you roll. It just makes everybody have a bad time, Frank.
It's literally like you should have a cat in your lap, a hairless kitten that you're stroking.
It's not nice.
So you you get over to this mess and you hear the paddling of Mouse, who went over. I think Meehan directed the dog to go out there as well to help. And Mouse.
I'm sorry. I was moving Mouse for the camera only.
Oh, okay. You were okay. Cool. Gotcha.
So everybody can see.
Understood. Okay, so you get out there, and you see this mess right in front of you. It looks like it's wood, and it actually looks like there's this netting.
Yeah, I'll grab the netting and the biggest chunks of wood that come with it and just drag it along back to shore and see what we got.
Yeah, the weight of it isn't important right now because it's floating. So you can easily grab it. So you grab onto it, and when you do, you start to pull it. I just wanted, are you like pulling really hard, or are you just going to kind of like start swimming and let it just float with you?
Well, I'm super trying not to get tangled up in this bullshit because I don't know if you've ever swam around ropes or whatever, but it's real easy to get tangled and drown.
Right.
So I'm kind of like holding it out to one side, and then letting it float behind me as I drag it along.
Okay, that's a great idea. So you get back up to an area where you can start standing up and walking up the rock, and it's slippery, and you get to a spot where the stuff you're pulling is like, how do I say this? It's getting stuck a bit in those rocks that are close to the edge, kind of like when you go fishing and you always try to pull your lure up before you get right to the bank because you lose your lure right next to where all the where the water line is. It's kind of like that. Who wants to help pull it up because it's kind of stuck? He's going to need help.
I'll try to help.
Okay, so Lila goes over with you as well, and I need you both to roll a 20-sided to see how well the pull goes.
Just 120?
So you can just assist him. So you have advantage. Roll a strength check, Little Grin, and do it with advantage.
Can we do
because Lila's helping?
I don't want to break the net. That's why I'm bringing it.
It's stuck. So I mean, it's either going to come out of the water for you to check out, or it's going to stay there. So
got ya. Here's my athletics.
Woo!
Not great.
That was
6.
but that wasn't. That couldn't have been the best roll. You had advantage, so you got to roll twice.
Oh, I forgot that part.
One. Lila's helping, so she always helps. So. Try one more of those. See what happens.
How about a 7 instead?
Okay. So they're both pulling, and it's stuck pretty well. Meehan, you want to help?
Yeah, I roll my eyes and go help.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a 20-sided for me, Meehan. Show them how it's done.
Is it an athletics check?
It's just a strength check. It's just strength, add your bonus. So, yeah, basically. Jesus, this thing's really stuck. Okay, so you pull really, really hard. You're like, this is going to be easy. It's like something tangled up, like netting and then some wood. And you go over and you go, and it's just really stuck under this piece of rock that's like kind of jets out. Like when you're walking out, it's got like a bottom to it that's open. So the netting and stuff got caught there. So you're just going to have to untangle. It's going to take some time if you want to do that. So you're going to take
I think Mouse is just going to come show us how it's done.
Okay. Well, Mouse goes over to it and growls a little bit and then bites on the edge of part of this netting looking type stuff. And it can go ahead and it can roll the pull too. Holy crap.
I think everyone drinks for that one.
Yep.
That's a lot of bad rolls all in a row.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Here's what happens.
There.
The dog growls a little bit before it bites on. It's smelt something, and then it grabs with its mouth onto the side of the netting, and when it pulls the netting, it literally rips the netting. But it rips in a way that kind of like it doesn't take it off the rock. It just kind of a piece of it kind of rips off. Now, when that piece rips off, what happens is that the netting opens on one side, and all of you see this thing slide out of the netting, and it's a decomposed something. It has scales, it has arms like a humanoid. It has a face that's got this really terrible look to it. Its mouth's wide open. Its eyes are huge, like it was almost scared to death, possibly. It's got this look like, but it's got scales. It's got these big fins on its head. It's got fins down its back, and its feet are webbed, and part of its legs are actually like combined, almost like what you'd see DM to players, like a mermaid almost.
Does it have gills?
It looks like it should have gills, yes. From where you're at, you would have to go investigate it further. But it looks as if this thing would have gills, yes. It looks aquatic, for sure.
Oh, he's not thinking it drowns in that net.
That's a good point. But it's sitting there, and it's just like it's staring at you. Just luckily the way it fell out of the netting, and it's decomposed. There's like these little water worms that are eating into the skin of it, and you know, part of the flesh is rotted off, so you see the bone and things like that.
Lila's gonna back the fuck away.
He's pretty much done here unless anyone wants a piece of this.
It smells really bad. But there are 3 or 4 very big pieces of wood that are connected around this netting. And, you know, that may be of help to you. So there is that. But you're going to have to have to take the time to unhook this stuff to be able to use it and deal with this dead creature.
I will use my monk-like tenacity to unhook each individual net hook and carefully remove the net.
All right. Mihen, what would you like to do while he is unhooking the net and the wood?
Yeah, so you said this mer creature thing has gills, right?
He has not investigated to see if it has, but it looks like an aquatic creature, which would mean most likely that it does have gills.
Yeah, so I'll tie a rock to it and say a little prayer to Bahamut and send it to the depths.
Okay, so you're going to give it a burial underwater. Excellent. Lila, you see somebody getting into the grossness of the the refuse that you found, and then a short ceremony for the dead aquatic humanoid that was found tangled up in this mess. What are you going to do?
I'm going to shout, I'm too sober for this shit. And just wait for them to finish what they're doing.
I will drink to that right now. Excellent. All right. So the body sinks. No problem. Mihen, roll your religion check, please.
Religion. Oh, there we go. 19.
When you go to send this creature to its proper burial, you feel that you have made connection with your God. And you feel as if he's listening or it's listening.
The Bahamut or this thing's God?
You feel as if you've made contact with Bahamut at this very moment.
Well, yeah, then I start praying hard, asking him for guidance.
Okay. You're going to ask for guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Lila, you see Mihen do a quick prayer for this creature, and as it's going into the water by the use of this rock, you see Mihan, and he goes from doing a doing a quick prayer type thing to like everything changes, and he goes right to his knees and begins to speak in a totally different voice. Totally changes for some reason. Little Grin, you're getting your fingers dirty, you're getting your feet dirty, you're getting your hands dirty. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes, but you finally get things broken apart enough that you now have a broken net, and you have a four really. They feel like they're very well still intact, but 4 pieces of wood that are roughly 4 to 6 feet long each.
Okay, I'll bring all that up on shore and kind of lay it out for everyone to see, and throw my backpack on the ground, and then I'll look to the group and I'll say, "Now, as backs in my countries, we've been talking about the most famous Mr. MacGyver."
And they look at you like, yes.
Oh, he's real good at building stuff. I says we build something.
He wants to build something.
Okay. What are we building?
I don't know, a way out. Otherwise, I just spent 15 minutes up to my my teddies and dead swamp lady. Any ideas?
Well, I'm kind of busy right now. But
yeah, Mihan is. You look around as you say that, and Mihan is on his knees, literally, like he seems to be in a deep prayer session.
All right, well, use just thanks on it, and I'll take a nap.
Lila looks at you like she's fidgeting, to say the least. She's having alcohol withdrawals, I think, something like that.
Just a tad, just a tad.
After seeing
Fair
the bloated,
well,
the
I'm wet and
bloated
tired.
person.
I'm wet and tired. I'm taking a nap.
So you just go, well, everybody's kind of off in their own place, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a nap. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Lila, my friend, you see Little Grin sit down and talking to himself and getting into a position where he can be comfortable and rest. And you can see better than the rest just from your dark vision, but still, you're looking for a clue for something, right? Something to help. But there's some wood and there's some netting, and that's better than you had. You hear a noise that you've never heard before. It comes from above you, and it's like, and it's high above you, and it's like a low, almost like a hum, and then it ends, and everything is like it was.
Lila's just gonna look up at the sky, or above her.
Right, you look above, and you haven't seen this guy for a long time now. It's going to be longer, possibly, with everything that happened on the surface. But you do look up, and you can just see that there's this cylindrical cavern. It goes up forever. I mean, this is a very, very this hole may lead all the way up to the surface if you were to climb it. It may literally go that high up. So you're very deep. You figure that you and your group must be very deep down. You might be outside the Oglethorpe mountain range and just underground from there. But the Oglethorpe mountain range is pretty damn wide, so you would have had to been sent very, very, very far away for that. But you're definitely deep underground. Is there anything that you'd like to specifically do, or can I just move forward in time?
No, just go ahead.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look up where I heard the sound. That's it.
Okay. All right. Mihan, you pray until you feel that your connection is disconnected. The guidance that you receive, the only thing that you receive back is the word search. You hear in your mind, you feel that your powerful deity that you worship just sent the simple word search to you when you prayed for guidance.
Okay.
And when you're done, you look around and you see little Grin is resting. He looks to be in a meditative state. You see Lila, and she's just kind of looking around, and it looks as if she's searching. It looks like she's trying to find an answer to this puzzle as to what you should all do next. Mouse is
build a
laying,
raft.
All right. You can begin to do so. Are you going to ask for any help, or are you just going to go for it yourself?
Yeah, of course I ask for help.
Okay. Are you going to wake up Little Grin?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
There you go. Are you going to have Little Grin rest, or are you going to kick him and wake him? Get him out.
I'm not gonna kick him, but I'll say, hey, come help.
Okay.
I'll get up.
All right.
Let's see. I got rope. I got a bedroll. That's about it for helping make a boat.
We got the wood.
And the wood.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. I'm looking in my inventory, see if I have anything else.
Is there any more wood where we found the first pile of wood and the dead guy?
That's it. You have 4 pieces of wood that are basically like 2x4 type wood. They're like 4 or 5.
Take 3 pieces, lay them long ways, and then take the last one, chop it in half, and then put one at, like a quarter of the way down and one a quarter of the way up, and lash those together. So it's like a little, 3 pieces, 2.
Okay. Does everybody like that? He kind of lays out his plan for building this. Everybody feel good about that?
Yeah.
Yes? Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do we want to put any kind of like anything in between? Does anyone have anything else that floats? I don't know.
Really.
I don't think 4 pieces of wood are going to be able to float us very well.
No.
I think it'll be all right. We'll attempt it, and if it doesn't work, then we'll reassess.
Okay.
Okay. So you're going to create basically 3 across, cut 1 in half, and then go on the bottom of both of those for the support on the front and back of it.
3 vertical pieces,
right.
2 horizontal.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. And they're both the horizontals are on the bottom, obviously, correct?
Yeah, and then we just lash it.
Okay. All right, cool. You can have someone assist you, and you can get advantage and just roll a survival to see how you do with your creation.
Does anybody want to take the lead on this, or
somebody can take the lead? You don't have to be the one for survival. Whoever's got the best stats should be the one who does this.
I got pretty decent survival.
Is it better than 3?
I got 14. I got a +4.
You're up.
Oh yeah, do it. We'll help you.
Yeah,
advantage then?
Sorry.
Do I get advantage?
Yes, because they're helping. Yes, they're assisting you.
16.
Okay, not bad. All right, so you put together what you feel is the best you can do with these pieces of wood that's been in the water for probably eons or whatever. Who knows? And this netting stuff that had a dead, bloated body in it. So you're using the netting as the tie for this boat, or are you using the netting for something else, or are you not using the netting?
If the netting rope looks strong, we'll use that. If not, we'll use our own rope.
Okay. Well, there's
not that 50 feet of good rope that we have, the regular hemp rope.
Right. So the netting, there's a lot of netting. I mean, it was in a ball. So the main thing with the netting is you have to untangle pieces of it, and it's got like that, rotted flesh of that creature in it. So it stinks quite a bit, but I mean, you can do some untying of the knots and stuff, I suppose, and make it work.
I spent so long getting that netting out. It still has dead lady in it?
Well, it's got. Well, yeah. I mean, it was all balled up in certain areas, so you unhooked it from the wood, but there was still. I mean, if you're going to use it, you're going to have to rip it up and use it in 4 different spots, right, to do the tying of the to make it a boat.
Let's just save the net. I've got a whole rope. We never use all our ropes. Let's just use the rope. So.
Okay, so you're going to save the netting and keep it intact. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just throw it over to the side. I don't want to get my hands more up in that dead lady shit. So.
Okay.
I'll just cut off the whatever we need.
Excellent. So, all right, you've got a makeshift water vehicle. You're looking at it. You're looking at it. Meehan's torch is sitting there on the lake bank, lighting up a little very small area compared to the size of this lake.
I sit on it.
You sit on it.
I sit on the front. Little Grin sits on the back with Lila in the center.
Okay.
With Mouse.
Okay.
Even weight distribution.
You know what? I'm going to say that none of you have been drinking and partying, so I'm going to say that it's okay. I'm going to say that you don't have to roll. I'm going to be a nice DM for just this one time, and I'm going to say that nobody makes a fool of themselves and sits on there, and then the whole thing collapses and flips over on somebody's head and hurts them or something. So yeah, y'all kind of just. I mean, this is right now. It's your only hope. So yeah, you sit your butts in the certain spots in the right sections, left and right, and back and forth, and then Lila jumps in the middle, along with the dog, and you're floating. You're not in the deep water yet, but you're floating. And I will tell you what, this water doesn't have a lot of waving to it, which is good, because whenever one of you makes like a really big move, like the boat just starts to sink underwater, just like by inches, but then it comes back up. So you're going to be very careful, because it's just enough to keep you all not having to swim, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
Yeah, so probably me and Little Grin aren't moving. We're just sitting. And
right.
Lila's going to have to paddle.
I'm in my mind, at least, I'm picturing one of you with your feet over the edge on one side, one of you with your feet over on the other side, and basically Lila in the middle, hoping to be able to get this thing to kind of start moving. What are you going to use as a paddle?
Well, I've got a torch.
Nah, your axe.
Yeah, I've got my axe too. That's probably a smarter idea.
Okay, so you go to use a piece of wood, and the wood, it just doesn't go. It's not long enough really for you to get a good deep stroke in. And then Meehan says, "Try your axe," and you do so, and you've never held your axe and used it like this, so it's like, what am I doing? But you start to make a little bit of wave, and you all begin to float in this darkness on the top of this huge underground lake.
If I'm on the back, I'll help her out. I'll scissor kick a little.
That would probably be a great idea. You just barely are moving your feet enough, but the thing is you are floating, and this water is really still, so you don't have something pushing you back like the ocean. If this was an ocean underground, it'd be different. But this is very still, so you actually start moving rather well. Although every so often you start to just go underwater. The boat goes underwater like 2 or 3 inches.
Oh, shit. You know what we forgot? How are we going to steer this thing?
Well, you're going straight.
I'm just kidding.
If you put your left foot a little bit to the right, you'll turn this way, you know.
Yeah.
Use your feet as the rudders, you know.
I'm just kidding. It won't be that hard. Which direction you guys want? I'm sorry. What direction we be going headed?
Is there any current to the water? Like if we just sit there, does it slowly push us one way or the other?
Well, let's see. So you stop, you say, let's stop and check this out. And you wait. And nothing much at all. There is no movement. You just kind of float there.
Water always be moving downhill.
There's
and I think we're at the bottom.
There's significance There's no significant movement. Sorry. What you see basically where you're at is to your right. There's the cavern wall. Straight ahead is the cavern wall, as well. But you are following it. If you are to go straight ahead, you're going to follow the cavern wall. If you went to the right, you'd crash or at least knock into the wall because you're right next to it. To your left, from where you're sitting now, is literally going straight into the middle of the lake, and then of course behind you is the rocks that you were just standing on.
Yeah, just out into the middle of the lake is my opinion.
Okay, so Meehan says we should go to the middle of the lake. So really, I mean, the two choices are you're either going to go out into the water or you're going to go follow the water by following the cavern wall. Those are the two choices.
Boy,
We have one for let's go into the deep water. And Little Grin, you agree?
No, I would not have gone for the deep water, but I'm just in it
That
now.
was a DM. That was a DM psych. Do you want to go in the middle or do you want to follow the cavern wall?
No, I'll agree. I'll go with Mastodon.
Okay.
Boy,
All right.
out into the briny deep.
And what about you, Lila?
I'ma just listen to me, Hen, because I have no idea where to go.
I'll put my torch out too. That way we can see if there's any faint glow of mushrooms or something important.
Okay. So Meehan goes out that way. Let's go out in the middle of this, and let's go out into this lake, this body of water, and everyone begins to move the boat and assist in, or raft and assist in moving away from the walls, the cavern walls, and towards the large mass of water. You have your torch as your what's the boat? What are the boats? There's a light that every boat has. What's it called? I thought there was, besides headlights, I thought there was like a spotlight type thing. Anyways, so your boat has a little torch in the front, so you got your little light going on, and
Paxton?
Yeah, I forget what it's called. That might be the name of it. So
I feel like calling it a boat is generous.
Well, I'm being nice. So a raft is a much better term. But
if you were on it, you'd call it a boat.
It's still
if I was on it, I'd be calling.
You
know what? If I was on it, I'd be calling drowning because my weight, that sumbitch is going down. Okay, there's. Sorry to say, we is not floating very well if I'm on that boat. Okay, so, anyways, you literally leave the area that you were in, and now you can't see any cavern walls. All you see is darkness and the water that you are floating on. There's nothing but water and darkness. That is it. It is just darkness. Yeah, that was that laugh. That's my laugh. It's just darkness and water. That is it. The torch doesn't seem to light anything up. It doesn't reflect off anything. It's just this dark turquoise blue water. There are every so often drops of water that fall on your head, but that's it. It is quiet. You can hear the trickle of the water coming off the axe. It's just stroke, splash, splash. That's it. It's dead quiet. And you do this for what seems to be at least a half hour, a long time. I mean, it's so quiet. There's nothing to gauge time on. And so it seems like you're just paddling out into this lake, and it doesn't end. Do any of you want to do anything other than continue paddling in the direction you're going?
Yeah, I crack a bottle of whiskey and hand it back to Lila.
Thank you.
And then start singing a sea shanty.
That's what I was gonna do.
How many bottles of whiskey you got left, Meehan?
We brought a large amount when we first left.
I remember you grabbed
really
at least. Right, I remember that you brought at least 3 bottles. Is what I remember.
Yeah, and I think we've only gone through about a half an actual bottle.
Yeah, well, it's been you've done a lot of moving. I remember that there hasn't been a lot of time for rest because you've been in a hurry trying to get to find out what's going on. But in this case, it's probably perfect. So you crack the bottle of whiskey open, you pass it back over to the person who is doing all the stroke. You see this bottle of whiskey light up by the torch, and it looks at you as if it's an early Christmas. There is no Christmas here, but it was that's what it's like. Are you going to grab that bottle and have a swig?
Yes.
Lila immediately quickly puts down her axe. Yes, I will drink to that. Yes.
Mayhaps you should have given it to her on the other side.
And then I put my torch out, by the way, because when we first started, because I wanted to see, so we can see if there's any like shimmering glow up ahead.
Sure, absolutely.
And it doesn't blind us. So Little Gren and I are blind. We're just relying on Lila.
Okay.
And I start singing a bar song with Lila.
Awesome. Okay. And which song is that again?
I mean, I'm not gonna sing. I'm just gonna say.
No. What's the song called?
I don't even know. To getting drunk in a bar and fighting.
Okay.
I sing a song called "Three People Die in Raft."
There you go. it somehow clashes. It somehow clashes, but also works together.
This song's called "Lost at Sea." Okay.
I'm just thinking of I've just been watching a bunch of Metalocalypse. I'm just thinking about the
Right.
sea monster coming up from the depth and
Right.
swallowing us.
No doubt.
I mean, we fell into this crazy lake. There's not much else we can do.
Yeah.
This nature guy sent us some crazy place. We're dealing with it.
I gotta bet we can't even drink this water, but it's all oily and shit.
Well, I mean, there's at least one dead body in it, so
Ah,
I wouldn't
That's
trust
true.
it.
How does it smell, Frank?
It smells right here. It doesn't
Just
smell
like
bad.
in the lake in general.
Well, okay. So when you found the bloated body,
yeah, I mean,
that smelled. That had a smell. But everywhere else has been fresh. It smells untouched. It smells like nothing you've ever smelled before. It's kind of there's a bit of a like maybe an acidic smell to it. But it's not
what
bad.
we do is bottle this shit and sell it as high pH water. And
There
make
you go.
a
There
bank.
you go.
I
Hey,
thought shale was full of oil, though. I figured there'd be like an oil slick down here.
well, we haven't gotten that far yet, dude. Come on, man. Let
No,
me
I'm sorry.
let me
Spoilers.
DM. Jeez. Okay.
Spoilers.
So
Stop giving him ideas. He didn't actually have that in his head. Now we're screwed.
you would be surprised what I have in store for all
I
of
was
you.
just kidding.
Okay. All right, you'd be surprised. So you will be surprised, I think. So
Yeah.
you continue paddling, but now you're having a little bit of fun. And in fact, since you all hung out with the mushroom people, this is the first fun you've had. The last time you had fun, some of you took psychedelic mushrooms and went on a trip. One of you fought an old adversary, and the other one of you got laid, pretty much. So.
Oh, I forgot I have mushrooms. Ooh, I eat one of my mushrooms.
Do you? Which
Yeah,
one?
why not? If everyone else, I mean, there's nothing else to do.
And which one are you taking?
Oh, the
like-
fun ones.
The psychedelic. Oh Jesus. Okay.
Wait,
You're
are
not
you?
talking. You're not
Yeah,
talking
you
about
the
the
ones
one.
that make us green?
You're not talking
It
about
says-
the glowy ones, are you?
I have it in my inventory as mushrooms of fun time. So
Yeah, that's the drug ones that the what is it, Kiyoshi likes to take.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't take those.
Sukeshi.
Sukeshi, yeah.
yeah, I eat
the
one
ones-
of those.
You're gonna
Don't-
give one of the
don't
ones you
do it,
promised.
don't do
Wait,
it.
the ones you promised to give to Sukeshi. You're gonna take one right now.
Well, not all of them. I was just gonna have
No,
a
no.
bite of one.
Oh Jesus. Okay. All right.
Alright.
All right.
I've
all
got
right.
6 of them.
Now we got
Oh,
an
yeah.
addict on our hands.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
All right, so you see these mushrooms all have like this, like you open up the little thing, go, everybody's having a good time. I'm gonna have a good time. You open up this your little thing you got them in, and you can see these mushrooms. They just like have this glow that's a pulse. It's like boom, boom, and they all have this glow, and you're like, wow, I could maybe even have some light from these, type thing. And you go ahead and you're gonna take half of one.
Yeah, I just take a bite out of it, a big old chomper bite out of it.
Well, they're pretty small, but you take a
Half.
bite.
Yeah.
Ooh, they taste
Is
like
it any good?
dog shit.
Oh.
Now, if hill giants like the taste of shit, maybe that I was just saying.
I have no idea. That's a really good question.
It happens like that sometimes. Do giants like the taste of feces? I don't know, but you can tell me whether or not you like that flavor because that's what it tastes like.
I think he's a little more refined than in eating his own dookie. So
right. Well, here's the thing: these mushrooms are different, and they're not like the mushrooms that you would serve. These are definitely different. So you take a few bites or take a bite, and it tastes like crap.
I'll put the other half of the mushroom back in the bag and be like, I don't know why people like these.
By the way, roll your perception.
You got it. 7.
You don't perceive what I needed you to see. Okay, so you look down at mushrooms, take a bite, put them down. I'm putting them away. Boom, done. That tastes like crap. Why would anybody take this? Ooh. All right.
Yep.
So, how many swigs of that whiskey you taking, young lady?
How many can I take before Meehan takes the bottle from me?
Oh, I don't know if Meehan will take the bottle from you at all. I don't know. You ask him.
No, we're passing it back and forth, but we'll probably drain half the bottle and then
okay.
Yeah.
Away.
So does that mean that you're having a drinking contest at sea? Is that what this is? No.
No, because I feel like they're probably.
How many times are you going to get that opportunity, right?
They're like liter bottles, so we probably each take like three hearty swigs, enough to catch a buzz, but not be obliterated.
All right, so
you guys were gonna roll off in the middle of the ocean here.
No, what's gonna happen to you guys if I pass out on this boat? You're not
Lila's
gonna
not
keep me on
the
it.
hardest person
You're
in
gonna have
this
to
thing, but
lash
she
me
knows
to it.
not to do that.
I don't know, man. I'm
Lila
about
is
to be on
smart
the
enough
moon.
to know this is just an opportunity to get buzzed, and that is it. We're
all right. So you're all having a good time, and all of you hear, oh, like again, this really, and it's coming from way high up. You hear this type, like you have no idea what it is, but you hear this sound, and it's coming from above you. And it's reverberating, and it's coming down the chute of this cavern that ends up in this water. And this is the first time two of you have heard it, because both of you were doing other things. Lila heard it before, but this sound is really strange, and you've never heard anything like it. Nothing like it.
This time, Lila's gonna ask everyone, like, "Did you guys hear that? Did you hear that? The thing?"
Does it have like a? Is it more like just an ominous like sound, or is there a cadence to it where there's like some kind of syllables in the sound?
It doesn't sound like something's trying to talk.
Yeah.
Or make a noise like a talk noise. And it's not like that. It sounds like something's moving or shifting, or it doesn't sound like it's coming from a live source, like a scream or something like that, or talk.
Well, I start singing about the ominous sound.
All right, so you're working on your the bardship of learning how to quick bard work. Okay, so you start singing about the noise that you have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
You continue for going straight ahead as you were. So now you've been doing this for about 25, 30 minutes. A 30-minute paddling across a lake is quite a bit of time. And Lila, if it wasn't for the whiskey, you would be like, who's going to take over? But you're having a great time.
Yep.
You got a little bit of liquor in you, feeling pretty damn good. Little Grin, it's weird. Your feet are in the water, and the water, it seems like it kind of changed temperature suddenly. And it went from being kind of warm to being cold. the water's cold now on your feet. It's like not freezing cold, but the water's changed, and now your feet are a little uncomfortable because it's cold. You feel cold, and you look at your hands, and you notice that your hands are glowing. There's a green tint to you. And you kind of think to yourself, and when you do, your thoughts are very loud in your head, where normally it sounds like somebody's kind of whispering in your ear. Now suddenly your thoughts are very loud and clear in your mind, and you have clarity like you've never had. It's like you are certain that whatever you think is absolutely unequivocally correct. And, right now, you could probably do anything you wanted where you were sitting. You could probably, just get up and jump off the raft and swim over to the other side of the shore. You probably could climb these walls and find some way out. There's all kinds of things you could be doing right now besides sitting on the back of this raft. Your mind is beginning to race with 1,000 thoughts, and your body is so in tune. As a monk, you are absolutely centered right now, and you're ready to explode and do anything you need to help this group get past this challenge.
Whoa, okay. Intense.
Yeah, it's intense, all right, and it feels really, really good. Your whole body is pillowy, cushiony. It's perfect.
I'm relaxed? I'm not like freaking out, right? I'm chill.
No, you feel great. You feel absolutely on. It's like, wow, no wonder people like this shit. I wish I was farming right now. I could get all the farming done so quickly. I wouldn't need none of those dwarves' help. Oh my goodness. In fact, thinking about farming, you're like literally everything is going times 1,000 in your head right now.
All right, I know what I want to do. I want to focus all this energy that I'm budding with, and like all my monk training. You're supposed to, like, as a monk, be really specific on one thing. Like, and since my brain's going every which way, right, I'm gonna really focus on doing everything I can to make the raft ride as smooth as possible for my friends. I'm gonna try and account for each ripple in the water, each stroke and everything, and I'm gonna move my feet in the water to perfectly adjust so that our course is perfectly straight the whole time.
Okay. So as you're using the feet and stuff, it comes to mind that you think, I've got two choices. One, I can just put my feet in perfect symmetry, and when I turn my feet like this, 1 foot and 1 foot, if I turn it like this, they'll turn this way, it'll be smooth. If I put my feet this way, it'll turn this way, smooth. But to really help just to get somewhere, I could also just put my feet in the water, turn around, and just kind of lay on the boat and use my feet to paddle so that we have more power to get across quicker.
Well, that's what I was doing already.
Yeah, but in my mind, I saw you looking backwards and kicking just to give that.
Oh, you think I can propel it faster if I lay in the water?
If you lay part of your body in the water, your face is forward, your mind says, face forward, feet back, and paddling. Like you're using part of the raft as like a belly boat type thing.
Let's do it.
Okay. So you just go when you flip over, and everybody notices because the raft goes underwater for just a second, and you two been drinking, so you're like, what the fuck? Everybody goes under for a second. Just for a second, about 2 or 3 inches of you go underwater, and the boat kind of starts to come up, and you both look around, and you see Little Grin is now laying like he's using this thing as a belly boat, and he's using his feet and kicking to help get this raft moving just a little bit quicker.
I want to keep my feet, though. I do want to keep my feet under the water and not splash a shit ton.
No. Absolutely. And so you all notice that Little Grin has this look of complete determination on him, and he's also got a glow. He's glowing just a little bit green.
Oh, no.
Just a little bit green. But he looks like he's in a hell of a state. He's paddling like nobody's business. And Lila, you even like, wow, I don't have to even do this as much as I was because his feet is so. Anyways, you continue.
Yeah.
You continue on.
I'm gonna Scooby Doo us across this lake.
There you go. Meehan.
Yes.
Everybody roll their perception, please.
10. Oh,
Oh,
gangster.
yeah.
Natural 20.
Yes, drink.
Yes.
Cheers to that.
So, man, you're looking straight ahead as you have been, even though there's darkness. You haven't been able to see anything that catches your eye. Lila, you absolutely see, to your left, you see the reflection of something. So you know there's light over there. To your left.
I'm going to say, there's light to the left. There's light to the left. Go left. Go left.
And those of you who can't see in the dark, you turn to your left, and you just, both of you see enough. I mean, it's so far in the distance that it looks like that much light in the distance, but you can see that there is something over there that's causing light, but it's a hell of a ways away.
Boom. Course correction. I line that right up with their two heads. I use them as a targeting system. And then I sail us there.
Okay. All right. So you continue forward. Actually, not forward, but you continue turning the raft so that it's headed towards this light. And you continue to work your butt off there, Little Grin, with complete focus. And you're all headed. Everyone can see it. Meehan, you can see it as well. Mouse even makes a noise of like it's noticing that it's going to be able to get off this raft at some point, hopefully. You continue on, and it goes for another 15, 20, and then suddenly the light starts to get a bit brighter and a bit brighter. Now there's more than one light, and you can tell that there is a reflection. There's a reflection of something. Little Grin, you begin to become very tired. And
Oh, no.
your focus starts to leave, and you become very, very tired. As in, like you feel like you got to rest. I mean, you too poop to pop, man. I mean, you've just really, you've used every bit of energy you had to help the group, and now you're going in a direction that seems to be a way out, perhaps. And now you need to rest. You're feeling very irritable.
Oh, I'm tired. And I stop.
Lila, you gonna pick back up the slack and
Yeah.
okay. Lila goes, oh well, it was nice while it lasted. Which,
Well, that was a nice little break. It's fine.
For about 20 minutes he was kicking ass. 25 minutes. So you go back to doing the dirty work. And every so often the lights go dark. The lights or whatever it is, it kind of like they move. So you're not sure if it's because you're moving or what, but the lights, they don't just stay in one spot, they change sometimes. It's been literally an hour and a half of travel on this lake, and you finally arrive at what it looks like there's just a big hole in the cavern in one spot, and the water continues. And from this cavern hole, this cave hole in this lake on this cavern wall, you can see that in the distance there's quite a bit of light.
Like through it?
Yeah, on the other side of the hole.
Cool.
It's a big, I mean, I'm not talking like a little hole. It's a big, huge hole on the side of this cavern.
Sure, into the hole.
Yep.
Okay. So, at first it looks like you were just going to go to a spot, but actually you have to go through the rock wall, if you will. Okay?
That's why we couldn't see the light always. That makes sense.
There you go. That's exactly correct. So, you continue to paddle, and the water looks like it actually gets shallow for a moment. And you see that, well, actually, you don't have a torch lit. Sorry. You don't see much other than the fact that there are things reflecting off the water now. It looks like you possibly may see rocks under you. Like the water's not that deep in certain spots here, but there's other spots where you can't see anything. So you get to the other side, and there's no way you don't see this. All of you see this. It looks like there is almost like a sand, not a sand, but it's like a muddy rock, like broken rock type, not a ledge, but like a beach area, if you will, that you're headed towards. I'm not going to say sand because it's not sand. It's more like mud and dirt, underground type stuff here. And above it, you can see that there is rocks that are lining the ground. They're not huge. They're just regular rocks that are like this. There's just a ton of them. And then it also looks like there's a path. You can actually see a path that, strangely enough, it looks like it's lit up in like a light blue color. So this is maybe where you saw the lights coming from a distance, but the light blue from this one path lights up, for some reason, just a whole bunch of area here. What are you gonna do?
Bossman,
Onward.
what are we doing?
Okay.
Onward, ho!
You continue to push, and you finally hit land. And you jump out of the your small raft. It worked, and your feet go into about a foot of mud. For you, Lila, that's not good. The two of you, though, get about a foot of mud that you step in. So it takes a while for you to pull your feet out. Just a second. But as you move up the incline, it becomes less muddy. I need everybody to roll their perception as you walk up this embankment on the side of the water.
4. I am crushing at life.
Whoa!
Yes.
12 and a
Number
1.
1.
Little Grin,
Yes.
Little Grin, you in your mind, you hear your conscience tell you, I've never been here, and we've never been here, and you need to be at your best. And it might just possibly be a good idea that you eat the other half of that mushroom so that you're absolutely in complete focus for this part of the adventure.
My critical fail. I'm going to become a drug addict. I was going to stop. One and done. All right, I popped the other.
No, you only had half, though. You only had half. That's not one. You said
That's what I'm
stop
saying. I had half. Oh, fuck. All right, I eat the other half. Screw it.
That's all. That's all
Peer
I'm
pressure.
saying.
You peer pressured me into drugs.
No,
This is TVMA right here, okay, kids? Watch out.
no, it's just you got another half sitting there. This is.
That is peer pressuring people into drugs right there. Classic.
I would never do such a thing. I would
Well,
never
it's
do
just
such a
there.
thing. Oh my God! How dare you? Okay.
Okay, I eat it.
All right, so you get out of the water, and everybody gets out of the water, and you're walking up the embankment, and little Grin goes, "Oh, 1 second," grabs that other half real quick and takes it. Oh, that's cool. We're all good. Okay.
Still tastes like dog shit.
Still tastes like dog shit. Okay. But you know what's interesting is the first time it took you a little bit to go, right? To get to where you needed to be. You take it this time, and within like a couple minutes you feel like, oh, here we go. Yep. This all right. I'm centered. I'm centered. I'm ready to rock and roll.
That's what we
Here's
call
what y'all-
microdosing, kids.
Here's what you all see. You see in front of you that there are rocks. And this cavern, it looks like it goes quite far deep in. So just like you were just in this big like lake area, excuse my burp, but that's what the beer does to me. That lake area, that was a big hole. This is like a big hole without the water. It seems like it goes pretty damn far. And then to your right, you see that there's like this path that leads up, where the other thing kind of it goes up a bit and it goes flat, and then it goes deep into into a cavern. There's like a walkway that goes up, and you can see that there's like a light blue light to it, and it goes up about 6 to 8 foot up a path, and then you can't tell where it goes from there. So you really have two choices here if you want to investigate this area. You can go to where the light is, or you can go to the other area.
I vote for the light.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's hit it. Light.
All right. So you all take the path, and the path it's literally like that same shale type rock. It's a little wonky. It doesn't feel completely strong, but it is on. It's like laying on other rocks, so it's got a little bit better base. And you begin to walk, and as soon as you take like the first 2 or 3 steps, you can see up, and what it is like this is an outcropping of crystals, and these crystals are really, really beautiful. You have not seen crystals like this. You have seen crystals. You've seen crystals all over Kildarule, all over the south road that you took to go to the Rainbow Falls. You've seen them inside of the mines. This is a completely different crystal. The crystal it has like a power to it. Like a glow that is beautiful. And if any of you love the crystals that you've seen in other areas, then these are just whoa. What kind of crystal is this? I mean, these are beautiful and they're badass. I mean, they're really, really awesome. And there's hundreds of them all on this path, all just lining both left and right sides up until it gets to a plateau. And there's a huge cropping in the middle with a huge one in the middle that's been growing.
So I'm on a shroom trip and we're going to go crystal harvesting. I'm pretty sure that
Yes.
parents against D&D in the 80s may have been onto something.
All right.
Yeah, I crack just a small crystal that you said was on the ground and put it with our collection of things to take, and make a little quick sketch of this big crystal.
Okay. Awesome. What are you gonna do, Lila?
I will also grab a small one if I can, just a little tiny one on the ground.
Okay. All right. If there's not one just laying there on the ground, you take one that's actually sprouted up and smaller and just break it off. Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Little Grin? These things.
I'd like to make some kind of survival action because my thought is that maybe something likes the light down here.
Maybe. You may be right.
So I'd like to scope that out, see if I can tell if there's been anything else down here.
Okay. I want you to roll a survival check.
Yay! Like moth to a flame, I got a 15.
Okay. So you're up at the plat. You see these crystals and you're just starting to feel good again. Like really good. And these crystals almost speak to you. And where there's that large crystal on that plateau, you have to take that walk. There's no way you can't just stand at the bottom of this walkway. You got to take this path.
I take it.
It's calling your name. I mean, it's literally like going, "Little Grin, come to me." I mean, it's like literally that bad.
I'll go communicate with the crystal. I didn't know that was happening.
Right. Well, that's why I told you, my friend. So you all notice that Little Grin is glowing just a little bit more than he was last time. And he just like walks past all of you and begins to walk up this path that all these crystals are on. And he gets to the top. When you get to the top, you see that this crystal is just about your height. And you can see that your hand is glowing and this crystal has a glow to it. Although it's a different color, it makes you feel that you're somewhat connected to these crystals. Perhaps this is what happens to those who eat these mushrooms. They turn into crystals, and that's their second life. Who knows?
Sure.
But there is this glow. How else does these crystals come? But then your eyes just hit to something over to your left. And you turn over and look, and you can see that in the distance, in this big cavern down below you, that it goes very deep, but there is a section where all of this ground is covered with what looks to be multicolored, translucent something. It looks like almost as if there's something see-through that has like a rainbow color scheme to it is covering the ground. And you see 50,000 different colors reflecting from the ground, from the light sources, even from these crystals and other light sources that must be in that area. You literally see what looks to be almost like a cavern of rainbow.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Okay,
Little Grin screams.
I fucking like bellow because the drugs have shown me a vision, apparently, and I will call my friends up to my side, and I will also thank the crystal for its aid.
He thanks the crystal and goes, "Come on, all you, come up here, come up here." Are any of you going to go up there and talk to the drug addict? No, just kidding.
Yeah, I'm gonna go because yeah.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
right. Meehan goes up as well. He is too excited and ecstatic about this. And you all see the same thing. He points it out, and you see that this cavern goes for a bit, it drops, and then from what you can tell, there's this area, and you see what looks to be like where the ground is. It's like you can see rock, but then above the rock, there is this translucent, the light hits it and it changes different colors. It looks almost like the ground is covered in this see-through, translucent, rainbowish type something. It's you've never seen anything like this before, and it's all on the ground, and it makes the whole area just lit up with different colors, and it continues to change as light sources bounce.
Rainbow Falls, you by getting it?
I thought we just left Rainbow Falls.
Yeah.
Ian is inquisitive and says, "We just left her, I thought." And Lila
But
agrees.
didn't we just fall? And aren't there not rainbows?
All right. Easy with the high IQ plays there. A little bit.
I mean,
Take it easy.
got a point. Got a point.
I'm
By the way-
like we got rainbows.
Meehan, Lila, you both, as you're standing up there next to Little Grin, you see that he's glowing and he's pulsing just like the crystals are.
Whoa.
Yeah, but we've seen this before from Sukeshi and other people, so
But he
I
doesn't
think
pulse,
we'll-
does he?
Sukeshi,
He
Sukeshi, you can't. Well, here's the thing. I can't tell you whether or not that's true because you've never been to Sukeshi when he's next to crystals, right? So you can't judge off something you haven't seen, but he definitely glows, and sometimes he's brighter than others. You know that. So there's a possibility. But right now, Little Grin is literally in the same pulsing as these crystals, just like boom, boom.
I just assume that drugs do terrible things to people.
Says the guy who
Lila's
stumbled
gonna-
out of the canoe.
Lila's gonna whisper.
How
to
did
me,
I
"Man, we
stumble?
gotta
I had
get
like
those
4 drinks.
mushrooms out of him."
Grown dragon.
You're talking
sorry.
we're talking over Jenny. What'd you say?
What would you say, Lila?
Lila's gonna go over to Meehan and just whisper, like, "We gotta get those mushrooms away from him."
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Okay. Anything else exciting in here, or just the
Is it just-
crystals and falls now as we walk further? Or
Well, as far as what's exciting here, you saw that in the distance. You saw what was. You haven't gotten there yet. That's just what you see from a distance. That's not what you. I mean, that's you've seen part of what's over there. You can't see everything, but you do see where there's this stuff on the ground that causes this light reaction that looks like there are these rays of rainbow bouncing off everywhere.
okay,
But-
does this look at all familiar from my vision when I saw Cell?
No. But this area is not closed off. The path you're on now has stopped. You're at the top of this crystal, this walkway that's got these crystals growing on it. But down below, where I said the land started to go up and go out, and then there's that area you can see as you're standing up high, like you're looking down on it. There's plenty of area to explore there.
So do we need to go back down and go down that other path you said at the beginning?
Yeah, you have to just go up the beach basically.
Cool.
'Cause you
Yeah.
went on a side path instead of taking the beach. Yeah.
Yeah, let's start heading that way. I guess we'll have to drag Little Grin along.
Oh yeah, Little Grin's digging it here. He's like, but there are a lot of lights over there, and that compelled him, because he feels he's found Rainbow Falls, the true Rainbow Falls.
Yeah.
So-
I'll focus on the center of the rainbow.
There you go.
I don't know.
All right. So I'm going to assume that we have everyone walking in a single line, going Lila, Meehan, Little Grin. Nobody's in the back. Everybody's in a single line because there's plenty of room here. Is that correct?
Yep.
That's what you usually all do when that happens. Okay.
I'm good.
So you're all even in your walking horizontally and in group, left to right, and of course Mouse is part of that group as well. As you look to explore this beach area, if you will, into a big open area that you had saw earlier, it's just now you've seen it from above, so you see what's kind of coming up. Well, you take a few dozen steps, and you already know what you've seen from the distance, but now you're going to actually walk into it. And what happens is the ground goes up, and then it levels. It dips once, and then the rock changes. In this area here, you can tell it hasn't been touched as much by the water. It's a bit drier here, and the rocks are not as beaten. They're not as small. They're larger rocks, and there is something, and you don't know what it is, but there is something. Well, maybe you'll find out what it is, but right now you don't know. But there is something like on the ground that it's partially see-through. The lights reflect off it as if it's got some kind of power or something. But it's about that thick, and it like lays across certain parts of the ground in this area and causes lights to reflect everywhere because it's just got this because maybe it's because it's translucent or whatever, but something about it makes the rays of light bounce off as if it's it's got some kind of reflective active agent to it or something. And it's not the whole ground, it's just there's like certain paths that have this colorful scheme to it, if you will. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, look at it a little closer, I think, huh?
Okay, so you actually go to investigate. Like I said, it's about that thick, and it's like perfectly on top of the rocks and such, and it you notice that it's in perfect paths in this area. Now the area itself, what you have is you have a huge opening with these different paths with this stuff on it, if you will. Like I said, it's about that thick, and you can see where it looks as if both to your left and to the right in the distance there are the cavern continues, like it actually doesn't just end here. You can continue walking farther, either to your left or to your right, if you wish.
But we have to walk on this stuff. Is
You
that what
will
you're
have
saying?
yes, you will have to walk on this stuff to move any more forward.
I'll go for it.
Okay. You go to step on it, and it feels very strong. You've never, I mean, you have no clue what it is, but you step on it, and it's like a strong, some type of strong substance.
I mean, it just feels like smooth stone under my foot.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Does it like do anything when I step on it? Any lights or craziness?
Yeah. When you touch it, and you stand on it, it moves, and when it moves, all these different lights bounce everywhere. Little Grin,
Well,
your eyes go apeshit. You see like so many different tracers in different directions. You just like go, whoa! Fireworks just started, baby. Yes.
Just a Pink Floyd laser light show in my brain.
He literally stepped
Yay.
on there, and Michael Jackson's show started, and everything went crazy. You know, I mean, man, started the concert right there. So you're like, whoa! I mean, you are seeing so many colors and so many like little lights shooting all in different directions. Lila, what are you doing?
I'm following Meehan, trying not to get distracted by Lilgren.
Okay, so you get up there, you take a step up into that area as well, and you step on the same type of thing. And again, there's just something about it that even when it moves a little bit, it causes reflections of lights everywhere. Or do you want to go deeper into this cavern, or do you want to go more to the left or to the right, Meehan? I'm going to let you make that call, and you can ask the group whether or not they want to go left or right or deeper in. It's your call.
I mean, unless Lila has a varying opinion, I think Little Grin and I are left is best. So.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you basically, I had you walking forward a bit, and now you're going to turn to your left. All right. Are you going to purposely walk on this this substance, this translucent substance that's very reflective, or are you going to walk on the rock? I mean, there's both there.
No, I'll just walk on the substance unless it starts doing something crazy.
Okay, cool. All right. So you travel, and you have to follow the path. So it's kind of like, oh, now I got to go right. Oh, now I got to follow there. So you're jumping around a little bit, just kind of making it kind of like it's almost like a fun little game there for a couple times. But for the most part, go ahead, Little Grin.
Yeah. So when they step on these things, right?
Yeah.
It's like a light show. You said.
You see lights. Yes, you see tracers of reflections of light going in all different directions. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna shout at them real quick. I'm like, stop.
Do you both stop?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Do the lights quit?
After a second, they do. Yes.
Okay. I want to look around the cave. Do I see any flickering like the light's constant? Sure, that's fine. But like, do I see any swelling, flickering like up and down of light? Like somebody else might be walking on these further away.
You, from where you're at, you do not notice anything else moving. Now, if you want to investigate in the cavern itself, because I told you could go left or right or deeper into the cavern. If you want to investigate the cavern you're in right now, you're welcome to.
No, I just want to use that as an indicator. Like if I see the lights like really start to move, I might think that somebody's on the path. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna keep an eye out while we're walking.
Okay. All right.
And I'll say, sorry, keep going.
Okay. So Little Grin kind of picks up and grabs onto the rest of you and mentally and says, I got to follow because those lights just took him away for a second. And you begin to go towards this left, again, this hole that's in this cavern that allow you to move on from this area. The lights, both of you notice these lights as well. When you step, every so often, there's just a reflection off this substance from the light that causes just like every so often there's just like these little sparks of light that move, and you can catch them now that Little Grin has brought them up. But Little Grin, because his mind is so enhanced right now, he's seeing them like there's fireworks going on. I mean, he's got a whole show going on. You make your way to where you are no more than 15 feet away from this next area where you're going to be walking in this cavern, and this trail that you're following, if you will, you're going to need to leave it, if you will, because you're going to be moving towards this cavern. And as you get to the edge of it, I need you all to roll perception.
15.
9.
4.
Meehan, as you stand there, and I'm assuming that because of the way there's a path, you were probably in the front, leading towards the left. As you get to the edge of this path, or these paths, there's a bunch of them. But when you get to the edge that led you to the left side here, you just kind of look over the area just once real quick before you move into a new spot, or move towards a new spot, and your eyes catch something. And it's to your right, and it looks like, because you're farther in, deeper into this cavern, it looks like the cavern goes to a certain point and then drops. And you see that there's a hole at the end of this cavern that goes down deep, and you just catch the glimpse of your eye. You catch a reflection for a second that catches your attention.
Yeah, I'll tell the group, and I say maybe we should investigate that hole. Looked like maybe something was moving or something going on over there. I don't have any other better ideas besides walking down this trail to the left.
All right. I'll go over and look at the hole.
Okay, so Little Grin takes Little Grin he just like hop, skips, and jumps over there real quick. And because Meehan pointed it out, and you just like jump. Lila, are you headed that way as well?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to say that Little Grin, because he's a little enhanced with the action, that he just jumps over there real quick, and you look over the side, and when you do, you see that sure enough there is a drop, and it goes down about maybe 30, 50 feet into an illuminated area, and there in this illuminated area is a huge, at least 40 to 50 foot long creature. It looks like a big multicolored slug, and on its back there is a huge shell, and this shell is absolutely made of this rainbow. This shell is completely all rainbow colored. As the lights hit it, it changes color. So you see this like psychedelic shell on the back of this slug or snail that's 50 foot long. And that's where we'll end tonight. So thank you all for checking out the stream, whether it be on YouTube on demand or live on Twitch TV. We will next week, the Dice Cult will be doing some really cool stuff for charity. Gamersforgiving.org. We will be doing some pledging and looking to gather some monies for that really worthy cause. If you want to check it out, Gamers for Gaming. It's not just role-playing. It's also people playing video games of all different sorts. But we're going to be taking some donations and helping with that really cool charity. So if you drop in next week, and I think we're going to be doing an extra long set of stuff next Saturday. Not this one coming up, but it'll start next week. The Dice Cult's going to be a part of that week-long adventure into helping. And what basically Gamers for Giving does is they help bring gaming supplies, whether it be video games or whatever, to kids in hospitals. if you've ever been in a hospital for any amount of time, it can be boring as beep. And one of the things they do is they help bring gaming stuff into the hospital so kids have something to do besides just sit there going, wow, I don't feel very freaking good. You know, how cool is that? I know I was in the hospital when I was young, and I didn't have any freaking games like that. I would have loved to have been able to play a video game. So that's what this group does, and they do some other fun things too, but that's one of the main things. And there's about, I think right now there's about 6 or 7 different groups that will be doing stuff next week, especially on Saturday and Sunday. There's going to be a 24-hour gaming marathon. I don't know how far we're going to go as the Dice Cult on that from Saturday to Sunday, but there will undoubtedly be some cool stuff. I'm trying to get the guys and gals to maybe put together a Divinity group and stream some Divinity. We attempted that, doing some of that fun stuff a couple months ago. So maybe we'll do that, but definitely some Legends of Theia will be happening. Next Monday on the Backs of Gods will be happening with the Dice Cult. We start at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then, of course, next week, if we're lucky, 6:30, Legends of Theia. And then on Saturdays, we always have Horror Saturdays. I think it starts around between 4 and 6 Pacific Standard Time, and that will be either Call of Cthulhu or Vampire the Masquerade or some other form of mystery horror / one-off. Again, next week it'll be a lot of fun because we'll be doing a lot of stuff all weekend long. So we do appreciate you checking us out. The Legends of Theia. I'm Frank. For Jenny and Scott and David, we say good night and see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. Take care, okay? Thank you so much for checking us out.